Hello and welcome to Experiences and Perspectives, the podcast where we explore and reflect on how to live a healthy, joyous, and creative life. I'm your host Siddharth Srivastav, and our today's topic is digital ethics. So let's begin with it. Today I'm trying a new concept to discuss, which is digital ethics. Till now, I've been discussing the topics related to our own self and what can we do to become better in ourselves. Today, this topic is also for the betterment of ourselves, but it also focuses on how we should behave in public and in the digital world. So that's what digital ethics actually means. So let's first define what actually digital ethics means according to the actual definition. So, digital ethics refers to the principles and values that guide our behavior online and the way we use technology. It encompasses issues such as privacy, security, consent, and respect for others. So, this definition definitely triggers the point why digital ethics are important. The importance of digital ethics are there are a lot of there is a lot of importance of digital ethics. The digital world has a power to connect us with others, share informations, ideas, and facilitate communication. But it has also possesses the potential to cause harm if we don't act ethically. There are a lot of unethical ways to cause harm using the technology prevailing in the current world. There are issues related to privacy violations, cyberbullying, misinformation, security breaches. There comes the big, vast domain of cybersecurity, dealing with all these stuffs. But how can we? This is not a technical discussion or talk, but it's how, without even knowing the technicalities, we can be good and safe in the digital world, like privacy violation, which is actually sharing personal information or photos with someone without someone's consent can be violation to their privacy and cause harm and embarrassment. Definitely, we all have a password protection on our phone as well as specifically for our gallery so that no one can see our pics. So that is something which we do for our safety. So we also need to uh, follow a rule that we don't look at it into others' pictures without their consent of or allowance to see them. Like some people don't put password on their phone, neither on their gallery, and some uh, some desire to take the advantage and look at those pictures, which is really wrong, and that comes under violation by our own side. And there comes the point of digital ethics. The ethics teaches that we should not intend to uh, breach anyone's privacy without their consent. And definitely, there the term digital ethics arises. Then comes the cases of cyberbullying, which uh, which means using technology to harass or bully or intimidate others can be a serious consequence for their mental health and well-being. Definitely, cyberbullying in itself is a very negative term. It causes a lot of problems in any way. Like bullying uh, happens mostly. Firstly, it happens in the schools, then colleges, and sometimes in public places, in our jobs as well. But nowadays, as the world has began to digitalize at a great pace, so the terms like cyberbullying are becoming common, and for that, cyberbullying is very bad thing. Actually, there are various cases of cyberbullying where people harass someone, blackmail someone using the pictures or any sort of private content they have about the person, and they continue blackmailing them, causing a highly negative impact on the mental health of the victim, and which sometimes lead to various big atrocities, and the person may get into depression or extremely bad mental situation. So that's very bad, and it's unethical thing to bully someone either in real life or in the digital world. And there comes the digital ethics. We must not uh, try to breach anyone's privacy, and you nor use those any private information of others to harm them in any way, or bully them or harass them. There comes the term called integrity. Like when we are in a friendship with someone, a very close friendship, and he or she shares her secrets or very important private uh, documents or any information with us, then comes, and definitely, as I always say, no one is permanent in our life. Everyone has a particular span in our lives, and when that span gets over, he will leave without any warrant, prior notice, or anything. So, like, I have a if I have a great friendship with someone and she shares some very important information, private information to me, and someday she ghosts me or we are no longer friends, then there comes my quality of integrity that I would not use those information which she shared against her, or to for my own betterment, which may cause harm to her in any way. So that's where the point integrity comes, and we need to be maintain the integrity of the information a person shares with us, because he or she shared that information to us only because at that time I was a trustworthy person for him or her, and we need to maintain that same trust forever, because that's where the ethics comes, that's where the humanity of humans arises. That would be one thing. Then another form of cyber problems which are caused like misinformation, which is quite common. There are a lot of fake news all across the globe. Fake news, fake information, fake appeals, fake everything is fake. The digital world is more than 50% of the digital world is actually fake. I think so, because it actually is. Because it actually is pretty fake. We fake our appearances, we fake our skills, we fake our voices, we fake everything. Our social profiles, people put a lot of filters over them, use modulation techniques to enhance their voice quality, enhance their appearance, to show them as a perfect being on the internet. Meanwhile, in reality, they could be worse than they appear to be on the internet. So, this is type of misinformation, and sometimes people use this misinformation against any particular person as a form of revenge, like use the person's image, and like people use person's image and place it in a particular situation that it may cause trouble to them. Like many cases of AI modeling has happened where using Photoshop or other things, people place the face of a girl in place of a porn star, and which completely changed the perspective of the picture. She was a girl posing herself on the near at the zoo. she was standing beside the cage of a lion, but just her neck is cropped and placed right in place of above the body of a porn star. And if that picture is shared and it looks so real that someone may say that maybe she's a porn star part time, and that could be a hell of an experience for the girl who is the victim. This is an example, and this can be scenario for a boy or any person, not specific to any gender as well. And there comes, and we need to address those things by being honest to ourselves. Like, how can someone do that when he knows that he's doing the wrong? He needs to understand what he is doing, because only by knowing ourselves we could be able to understand what our acts are really intend to. If we are unaware who we are, unaware of what we are doing, then anything we do could be good or bad, and we aren't aware of that. Because I don't think no one intentionally tries to harm anyone. They do in some cases, but it's mainly because they don't know themselves and they just keep on proving themselves that they are good, but actually they are doing wrong. And we need to understand that, because sometimes we also do such things, not exactly in this way, but sometimes we spread misinformation about a person. Like in colleges, there's a not trend, but it happens a lot. Like a person is seen at a small tea shop, and with other person who is at the same tea shop at the moment, he's smoking a cigarette, and then a few traitor friends of him spread the misinformation that this guy is now smoking. He's began smoking. He's drinking alcohol. He's doing a lot of other things. He's smoking. Basically, I've seen these things happening in my college as well, and it hurts me a lot. You have no proof that the person actually committed this mistake, and you are saying that he did. That's sad. We need to look into ourselves before doing any such activity, because only we ourselves can control the wrong things we do. No one else can impose to be good, act good, don't harm anyone else. We need to understand those things by ourselves. So I want to actually discuss some tips and tricks which could help us makes the use of social media a bit safer and be more ethical online. These are like: protect your privacy, respect others, check your sources, practice good password hygiene, and be kind to others. Protect your privacy, which is the first thing. Be mindful of the personal information you share online and who you share with. Actually, people sometimes overshare their information. There's a thing popular these days that every moment needs to be captured and shared with people. I don't think so. Not everyone needs to know where I am at the moment, what am I doing at the moment, who I am having a good time with, who I am spending time with at the restaurant, who I am attending the class with. Not everyone needs to know, and we need to control it. Actually, it's a cause of a big trouble. We are sharing our each and every information. Recently, I got to know about Snapchat. Actually, this is pretty common among all the college guys at my place, at my college, and all over the globe. But I never used it. Really, I never used it. I downloaded it once. For 2 days, it stayed on my phone, and then I deleted it. I found no use of it actually. We are sharing every information about our whole day to other people. And not just the people, that device is also storing that information, definitely. Because, as it is said, CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, which needs to be maintained by the software. It's fake. The people behind those applications are listening to us. They know everything what we are doing and manipulating us in the way possible to them. So uh, we should be more mindful while sharing our information. Don't share too much. Don't overshare information nor your pics. It's important. It's privacy. You can't share everything with other people. And you don't know too many people. You know your close friends and you trust them, but you don't trust 100 people. They may use those pics or information against you, and you could never make a guess who did that. But you would be devastated by the other person's action, which actually were your actions. You triggered them by sharing that information which you weren't supposed to. So we need to be careful about it. I do sometimes do that. Not in online, but in reality, I overshare myself. Being an introvert, it's an introvert issue. Sometimes I don't talk at all, and sometimes I'm like, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. It happens. So we need to be mindful about what we share online. Okay. So moving on to the next step, which is I think a very important one, respect others. Really. Treat online people with same respect you give to a real person while you talk. Don't engage in cyberbullying or harassment, and be mindful of the words you use while having the conversation, because they have an impact on the other person. Definitely respect everyone. You talk to people. How do you talk to people in real life? You say, hey dude, what's up? That's respect, not respect. Fuck that. Respect. How do you talk to an elder person? Hello, uncle. Namaste. Namaskar. But how you treat a person online, if he posts a negative comment on your YouTube video or your tweet, you just say fuck off. That's not good. Really not good. You could use other terms. You could have a one-to-one conversation with him if you need. If you really feel that the words of that person hurt you. Because you need to be mindful about that as well. Not everyone's word have the capability to hurt you. And you need to be careful whose words you take here and whose words you just keep aside. Which words you need to put a filter on your eyes, brain, as well as your ears. What you hear, you need to hear only the things which are important to you, which are going to benefit you in any way, and rest needs to be filtered out and never to be focused upon and neither be discussed ever. That's an important thing. And when we do that, we actually respect people, because we begin disrespecting a person when we pay attention to the negatives the person is causing us. Focus on the positives. Fuck negatives. No need to deliberately look at the negative comments on your posts. No need of that. No need at all. Don't look at the replies on your tweets. you did about some particular thing. Just look at the positive ones, filter out the negative ones, and don't be respectful to the person who did anything good or bad. Because you may don't know, but you can make some really amazing friends in the digital world. I'm experienced at that. I've got some of my most amazing friends about whom I feel blessed in the online world. That's a pretty crazy story actually. But yeah, I met them online out of nowhere. There was somewhere, but yeah. You never know. So be respectful and filter out the negatives. Now, other point, check your sources. Before sharing online, make sure the information you share is accurate and from a reliable source. Yeah, that's cool. Don't contribute to the spread of misinformation. Definitely, that is important. We don't need to keep spreading misinformation in the world. But yeah, as we need to make sure the information we share is accurate, reliable, which is quite confusing at the moment because in the current world of internet, we have the liberty to speak anything we desire, anything we wish to speak, and we do that. But we need to take care that the words or things we speak don't harm others. We need to portray our perspective in such a way that the other person don't get hurt by it. They also consider it as a perspective and think over it rather than just being mindlessly abusing the person. So being mindful is a very important thing, and although ethics could be preserved by just being mindful about what you speak and how you speak, and all the problems will be gone. Definitely, I think being mindful is a very important thing is the most important thing to maintain digital ethics and integrity. Okay, so by acting ethically online and being mindful of the impact of our actions can have on others, we can make the use of social media safer and more positive for everyone. Yeah, definitely. In addition to helping to make use of social media safer and more positive for others, being mindful of digital ethics can also benefit the user. Definitely, you are being mindful, it will help you. You are becoming a better person every moment. By protecting your privacy and respecting others online, you can help to build and maintain positive relationships with others. As I said, you never know you would find the love of your life online. It happens. It can happen. It definitely can happen. It's happening to me in some way. Maybe, may not be, but it can happen. You can find amazing connections in the world, and some of them you could never find in the real world, but they exist somewhere in the corner of the world, and they help you, they pray for you, they care about you. So that could happen only if you are mindful, true to yourself, and respectful to the other person. That's the thing. Overall, being mindful of the digital ethics can help create a more positive and safe online environment for everyone and can benefit the user as well. So let's work together and make the digital world a better place for all. Definitely. With that, I would like to end today's episode. It's good enough. Digital ethics, an important concept which we need to remember and be mindful about, because in the digital world, respecting and being mindful is very important. Being mindful is important in everywhere, in every aspect of our life, but also in digital world, because A lot of crimes are happening due to the digital world. Harassment, cyberbullying, misinformation campaigns, a lot, cybersecurity breaches, and everything. Vast domain. Most of them can be controlled by just being aware and being mindful about our acts and the words we use. So let's be more mindful in the digital world and follow the digital ethics to make the digital world a better place for everyone. So with that, I would like to end today's episode. That's all for today. See you next time. Till then, stay sane and keep exploring. Bye bye.